I'm going to show you how to take your body measurements to help you choose the right pattern size for you. You're going to need a tape measure, and I do recommend taking your measurements not wearing a pair of jeans, wearing maybe cycling shorts or just pants and a top that isn't too bulky. To start with, your bust measurement needs to be taken around the fullest part of your bust. So making sure that the tape measure is nice and straight across your back, and then pull it over the fullest part of your bust so that it's resting nice and snug without pulling it too tight, and make a note of your bust measurement. The upper bust measurement is useful if you have a larger bust, and it might help you decide if you want to make a full bust adjustment. So for the upper bust adjustment, the upper bust measurement, I'm just coming up above the bust, under the arms, and I'm letting the arms sit nice and flat and sort of against the tape measure. And then making sure everything is nice and rested and not sort of pulled in a different place. And that is where my upper bust measurement will be taken. If you notice that you have more than a 3-inch difference between your bust and your upper bust, 3 inches is around 7.5 centimetres, that means that you might want to consider doing a full bust adjustment. Another measurement to consider with the bust is taking note of how far down your bust point is. So our patterns are marked at 25 centimetres down from the side neck, which is 10 inches. My bust is actually a little bit lower than this. So take a note of your own bust point from the side neck down. The other area that you can measure is between the bust points. And this is helpful for adding or removing or changing the position of darts on any clothes. So you can take width of your bust points like so. Next, we're going to take the shoulder measurement. And for that, I start at the side neck where the shoulder meets the neck here and measure along until I feel the end of the shoulder bone. And you can feel the bone here. And I'll take my shoulder measurement like that. For the shoulder to shoulder measurement, that measurement comes across your back. So rest your shoulders nice and relaxed, and then try to get the tape measure as straight as possible across the back, like so. And just hold the tape measure right at the point where the tape measure hits the shoulder bone, and that is your shoulder to shoulder measurement. Next, for your waist measurement, some pattern companies will give you a measurement for how low the waist is taken. For Modern Sewing Co, we generally work with 41 centimetres down from the side neck and shoulder point. This is around here for me, which is just above my belly button. I'm quite tall, so usually that might hit your belly button if you're more of a medium height. And just holding the tape measure nicely around the waist, that is my waist measurement. From here, I can then mark my hip measurement. We work with 20 centimetres, which is 8 inches down from the waist, and that is where the hip measurement will be taken. So you can measure down and take your hip measurement from there. Next, we're going to take the crotch measurement, and that is the rise, so the full rise between both legs. So I'm going to bring the tape measure between my legs, pull it up so it's sitting snug but not too tight under my body, and then take the rise here. This could be where you measure your preferred rise, or this could be where you're measuring your pattern to check where that particular pattern rise will sit. So whether it sits too high or too low for you, and you can decide whether you want to add or remove length to the rise. To check your leg measurement, bring your tape measure to the point where your waistband will sit on your waist, And I would lie the tape down like that and let it hang. And then you can slowly, if you don't have someone to help you, very carefully follow the tape measure down your leg like so. And you can take a measurement for where you'd like the trouser leg to finish, whether it's cropped or full length. You can decide with this measurement.